Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Decentralized Masters podcast, your go-to source for everything decentralized finance. I'm Tristan, and I'm here with my co-host today, John. We're here to guide you through the ever-changing world of DeFi, one strategy at a time. Every week, we're right here on the Decentralized Masters YouTube channel. We're going live at 2 p.m. Eastern Times on Thursdays. And I think it was 11, no, we also go live on Tuesdays as well to bring you the latest insights, updates, and tools to bring you in the DeFi space. So, John, I kind of had a mishap right there. What time do we go live on Tuesdays?
Tuesdays, we go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Anyways, welcome in, guys. I hope you're having a good one today, Tristan. How's your day going so far?
Not bad, not bad. Little thing. I picked up some osmosis just before we got on the call.
Nice.
I was just looking at it. I didn't buy like a massive amount, just kind of like a tester, just testing the Cosmos ecosystem out a little bit. Super beat up right now. It's kind of forgotten, so I'm just doing a little playing around.
Yeah, it looks like the market right now is slightly recovering. I mean, IP up 42%, which was actually a token that Tyler was talking about in his private session. So once again, guys, definitely go ahead and check out our community down below. You could actually join one of our free communities by checking down in the description and clicking the link and check that out. But as we see right now all across the board with crypto bubbles, we see slightly green right now in the neutral. There's a lot of positive things that we kind of talked about yesterday with our private community that I kind of want to touch on a little bit based on today. But the thing is, the market's looking a little bit slightly better than we have these last couple of days. How do you feel overall today, Tristan?
Feeling pretty good. Kind of, I'm trying to stay neutral because if anything over the last week, what we've seen is that if you get emotional about things, you're not going to have a good time. Like that massive collapse in Solana that we saw earlier this week, just due to the Libra chain. It was the Libra token, sorry. It was just a bit of a mess. So you just got to stay unemotional. Unfortunately, that means not getting excited when the market is up. But if you don't get excited when it's up, you don't get unhappy when it is down. That's kind of what my feelings on that are. Isn't Tyler such a wizard? I can't believe he called that.
Yeah, man. I was literally in one of his sessions. I think it was Tuesday, and he was talking about IP, and he was asking me, he's like, John, are you in IP? I was like, no, man, I haven't even heard. I don't even know what IP is. And look at this thing up, 43%. So he covered that, man. He's called a lot of good plays. I mean, 43% of the day and for a week, that's already a 1x basically.
Wow.
So that is insane. So shout out to Tyler.
Yeah, shout out Tyler.
He's been giving out a lot of good gems. He also called out Sui. So a lot of good things that are happening within the community. But that being said, I do want to touch a little bit of some key points that Tristan went ahead and mentioned, specifically the Libra token. For all those that are not aware what the Libra token is actually basically the president of Argentina went ahead and launched his meme coin. Long story short, you guys would be probably laughing if you guys would see what the chart looks like. But basically, they went ahead and had a lot of insider trading. And basically what ended up happening is that sucked up a lot of the liquidity from the markets. A lot of people chasing the next shiny object, as we always say not to go ahead and do. So a lot of people went ahead and sold out of their altcoins, their meme coins, to go ahead and chase after this Libra token. And as you see right now, from where it was at, it was actually a lot higher. It doesn't show it right here. This thing's down over 60%. It was actually down over 90%. I don't know why on Dex Tools it doesn't really show it. But on Dex Screener, if we were to go ahead and look at that through Dex Screener, you would go ahead and see that this thing has massively got corrected. Now, a thing that has been very, very volatile with the market is that because of these public figures that we have been seeing all across the space these last couple months, it really actually has been doing the opposite for crypto. Like, as people would have expected, they would have thought that maybe having these public figures talk about crypto, promote crypto, would have went ahead and pushed the market to higher highs. And it's actually been the complete opposite. We've actually been seeing basically more projects like this. I mean, look at Libra, overall 95% down. This thing went as high as over 4 billion market cap. So it was actually a lot higher than what it shows right here in the chart. So realistically speaking, a lot of this volatility that has been going on all across the board has definitely been having a huge impact with the whole entire crypto market as a whole. So unfortunately, because of situations like this, people go ahead and exit their tokens, their meme coins, their altcoins, and they go after chasing these shiny things that are meant to go ahead and make you a lot of money, make you a millionaire overnight. And this is the result of that, right? So do not chase, guys. We're very, very big when it comes to chasing meme coins. You know, we've also been pretty public about meme coins. Myself, I love meme coins, but I've always suggested stay away from them if you don't understand them. They're super, super high risk. I'm down quite a bit on some of them. So, but that's the part of the game. The game with the meme coins is a whole different ball game as opposed to your altcoins. And as we're seeing right now in the market, we're seeing a little bit more movement towards the altcoins as opposed to the meme coins, right? It looks like people got wrecked pretty hard these last couple of weeks. And people are like, you know what? Let's go ahead and stick to what works. DCA and stick to blue chips. That's what works. All right, guys? So with that being said, that looks good all across the board, besides the fact that we had these big major events. And this is what's going on right now. Another big news event, too, as well, is that Pi Network. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with this. I've talked about this a little bit on actually on Tuesday, but Pi Network is now officially live. So I'm not sure if you ever came across Pi, Tristan, if you know what Pi Network is, but Pi Network was this huge big thing a few years ago about mining crypto on your phone, and it seemed really fishy. Well, guess what? After over 6 years, what it seems like, or over 4 years plus, Pi Network has now gone officially live. It first got traded on OKX exchange. So that is, I guess, a little bit of good news because a lot of people were expecting this to go ahead and do pretty well. But as you see right here, it has already dropped over 42%. And a lot of people basically saw this as a Ponzi scheme. So this is kind of the reason why a pyramid scheme, as you see right here, concerns over being labeled over a pyramid scheme. But basically, this thing has been going on for years. So for any of you that are in Pi Network like myself, I went ahead and looked at my wallet and I'm like, oh, snap, I forgot about this. I deleted it like a few months ago because I'm like, this is a scam. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's if it's free, they're getting something out of me. And I think what they were doing was harvesting data, honestly. I think that's what they were doing. And I'm sure it was probably somewhere in the contract that you agreed upon doing that. But yeah, if you are a holder of Pi Network, guys, I would highly, highly recommend to go ahead and KYC. I just went ahead and KYC myself. I'm not getting that many tokens. I have a total queue of about 100 tokens. Some of them are not even going to be verified with the whole entire process that they're doing. So I guess technically it does fall between the lines of shadiness. It looks like not a lot of people are actually going to be able to claim those tokens. I have over 100 and something Pi tokens. And so far, the only ones that are verifiable for me to claim are 16 Pi tokens. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and stake them for like 3 years, set it and forget it. See where things go, but I'm really not going to go ahead and cash out Pi. I think Pi right now, if I'm not mistaken, it's at around, I think it was trading at around $1. I have to go ahead and double check on that. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with the crypto news. So I guess that's semi-bullish because of the fact that we've all been waiting for this. Yeah, so it's actually dumped even further. So as expected, it usually happens with a lot of airdrops. We've seen this with pre-sales. We've seen these drops even with the Trump token, with the Milani token, with the Libra token. It's just a natural behavior, unfortunately, even for the altcoins. We've seen it with altcoins doing this. I think Sui or Ondo did the same thing. As soon as it went live, it pumped, dumped over like 60%, and then went ahead and now it's back to its normal or all-time high, right? So it's a very common thing when it comes to ICOs, IPOs, pre-sales, airdrops. This is a pretty common thing for a token to go ahead and dump initially, because keep in mind, we were mining Pi tokens for free, basically claim and claim free. So if people are getting for years. So what are people going to instantly do? Go ahead and cash out. That's just the reality of it, right? But as you do see, it has been listed on OKX officially. We are seeing it listed on BitGet, Gate.io, and we're going to go ahead and see if Binance follows through, because apparently Binance went ahead and did a little, what is it called? A little vote on if they should go ahead and list Pi Network. And for all those that do not know what the Binance effect is, the Binance effect usually takes tokens to the moon. Usually when tokens get listed on Binance, they moon. When tokens get listed on Coinbase, they dump. So we want Binance listings for whatever the reason that is. I think there's just more volume in there. But yeah, so that is what's currently happening right now with Pi Network. Another thing I wanted to go ahead and mention too that I talked a little bit about during this week is that we've actually been seeing more inflows with Ethereum as opposed to Bitcoin ETF. So there's been actually more outflows to Bitcoin. So that is definitely something very interesting to talk about because we looked at it a little bit closely with the Ethereum chart with our private community in our advanced office hours. And we talked about how I mentioned that we could be possibly near a bottom. So if you guys are currently watching, smash that like button for us. Make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. We go live twice a week. And as well, this is one of the best ways to keep up with the latest crypto news. But secondly, we're going to go ahead and look at what we could be expecting with the market before I turn it over to Tristan. We always save the best for last, as you guys know. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we are seeing right now at the Bitcoin chart. But right now we are seeing Bitcoin still holding support pretty nicely. I'm actually liking this. It looks really good. I talked about how yesterday things were going to go ahead and look a lot better. Hey, Vernon, how's it going, man? This is unbelievable, John. I thought you had been abducted by aliens or something for your Crody. Shout out to Vernon. Shout out to Vernon. Hope you're doing well, man. I like your profile picture, by the way. But yeah, so Bitcoin right now looking really nicely. For all those that are not aware, Vernon is a long time friend. So I'm glad to see you here, man. Really appreciate the support as always. But right now, looking at Bitcoin, looking really nicely. We have been holding the support as we talked about in a while for quite a long time. We've already been holding the support at around 86 days for Bitcoin. And as I mentioned yesterday and these last couple of days, I did talk about how, keep in mind, the market usually does these very long, slow effect times where it just drags and there's nothing but just boringness. As you see right here, Bitcoin back right here before we saw the breakout. And this was during the talks of a Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin literally went sideways for 250 days. Remember, keep in mind, it just depends on where you're measuring, but roughly about over 200 days. So almost about a whole year of Bitcoin really not doing anything until presidential election came, breakout. We had a mini little run. Everyone's excited. And then now we're back to being sad again, right? So keep in mind, what goes down has to eventually come up, and what goes up has to eventually come down. So looking at Bitcoin right now, looking really good. As I mentioned, a key area that we want to go ahead and focus on is right here for Bitcoin at this POC, the point of control of $104,000 range. So as I mentioned, what I really want to go ahead and see is, can Bitcoin and will Bitcoin break past 100,000? I'm not too worried about 100,000. As you see, it is an area of resistance, but I'm really more concerned, can Bitcoin break above 104,000? And the reason being is, as you see right here with these circles, Bitcoin has struggled multiple times to break past and hold above this $104,000 to $106,000 range. So where I'm really concerned and where we could be celebrating, I mean, we will celebrate today just because it's a green day we haven't seen in a long time, right? So let's go ahead and just pat ourselves in the back for that one. But where we're really going to be celebrating is once we see Bitcoin break above 105 and hold above that. As I mentioned, we need to get a confirmation before we get excited, but best believe, in my opinion, once we see this 104, 105 range, this POC, which stands for point of control, as you see, there's a lot of selling pressure at around these ranges. These are the circles that I just mentioned. Once we see that breakout, guys, best believe $120,000 is around the corner for Bitcoin. And I know it might sound a little crazy, but keep in mind, we're not that far off. If we were to go ahead and measure where $120,000 Bitcoin from its previous all-time high, realistically speaking, that is roughly about a 10% move. So it is not impossible. It's very doable. Just like we went down really quickly, we could just go as high very fast. So keep that in mind. Be patient. Our time is coming. It's looking really positive all across the board. I did mention a few key factors that I was really looking into, and it looks like the DXY is doing exactly what we've been wanting it to do. I talked about this yesterday with our private community. I said in the best case scenario, in the wonderful, perfect world that we live in, we will see the DXY get rejected right here. But I mentioned, keep in mind, don't be surprised if the DXY climbs up slightly before starting to get rejected. So as we see, The DXY is doing exactly what we wanted it to do. And this is one of the main reasons why I was excited yesterday and I was having hope that this was going to happen. So it's really good to see that we talked about this yesterday with our private community, and now we're actually seeing the DXY fall as we thought it was going to happen. So that is what's causing the market to go up. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ. So taking a look at the US 100, as I mentioned, the US 100, the NASDAQ did went ahead and made new all-time highs in the market yesterday. Right now, it's having a little bit more of a retracement. It's correcting a little bit. As long as we're able to hold around this range, I do expect the stock market to also be making higher highs in the next coming days, if not in the next week, week and a half. If anything, this breakout should be happening very soon. I do not like to go ahead and put predictions because predictions are very, very difficult. Anything could happen tomorrow, and it could go ahead and do the opposite of the market or vice versa. Something could be said today, and then literally this thing just shoots up to the moon, right? So, but the US 100 looks like it's going to be entering a new price discovery very soon. So expect the stock market to go up even higher in the next coming, let's just call it weeks. But we should be seeing that happening very, very soon. Lastly, what I really want to go ahead and cover and what all of you should be excited about, because altcoins, let's be honest, Bitcoin's great, but the money is really in the altcoins. That's where we're going to make a lot of the money when it comes to liquidity pools and things like that. So looking at Ethereum is what's really, really important. And looking at Ethereum right now, so far, it has been holding up pretty well. As we see, we did see the flash crash down at the $2,100 range. And right now, so far, Ethereum is looking pretty positive. Now, the chart that I'm looking at it from is the weekly. The weekly right now, as we see, we are seeing a lot of bullish momentum. Now, keep in mind, the reason why I'm celebrating this for Ethereum is because we really rarely saw any green days since back in December for Ethereum. It's been nothing but red days. These black candles are basically red. I just changed the color scheme, so I would look at it with a different perspective. But as you see, Ethereum is now so far having 2 weeks of green. So if Ethereum could break past $3,200, that is going to look super good. But keep in mind, as I mentioned in the past, $3,600 to $3,800 is the key area where we want to go ahead and focus on. And the reason being is due to the fact that we want to go ahead and break this past area of resistance. Ethereum, as we see, even going back until March 2024, and even going as far as the last bull run, we do see that Ethereum, when it was within these ranges of around $3,600 and $3,800, Ethereum always went ahead and got rejected. So it has been a key area of resistance. So realistically speaking, $3,200 will definitely be a milestone to begin with. But the biggest one that I'm looking for is 3,600 to 38. And in my opinion, I think within this range of 36 to 3,800, this is where we should be seeing a lot of more of the altcoins start to pick up. So one thing I wanted to mention is that there has been slight little bit of signs of Bitcoin dominance shift into altcoins, or Ethereum, if you want to call it. So so far, what we need for altcoin season is slightly playing out. We just have to be patient. We are betting big right now, being on top of it and inside before we actually get a confirmation. A confirmation for us to go ahead and say, hey, you know what? The downtrend for Ethereum is over. It's once we see this breakout with $3,200. But really, I really want to see Ethereum back at these levels right here around 36 and 38. And this for me would be like an ultimate confirmation where I'm going to be getting super aggressive, where I'm just going to be throwing money into crypto left and right. Right now, I'm very strategic. I'm slowly buying into some positions, throwing a little bit of money. I'm mostly holding on to USDC. I'm not getting too aggressive with my positions right now because I'm already overly exposed. So I'm being patient. But $3,600 to $3,800, if I see Ethereum hold that and break through that with no problem, Ethereum will be approaching that $5,000 range. And for me, that is going to be the sign where I'm going to start to get more aggressive into my investment strategy to go ahead and take advantage of this altcoin run. So keep in mind, it's not confirmed just yet. Be patient. We still have a few more weeks to go ahead and wait before we start getting excited about an altcoin season. But so far, the signs are coming in. And I've been saying altcoin season has been going on since November. A lot of people have a hard time to believe that. And let me go ahead and show you quickly the reason why I've been saying that. If we actually go ahead and take a look at a chart like XLM, we could go ahead and see that XLM right here at around this time back in the last bull run started to take off. This is where there was a lot of movement, right? Same thing with what we're seeing right now in the market. And I believe we also saw that, what is it? No, we didn't really see that right here. Slightly a little bit, but more right here at around the 2024. So you see already twice that we've seen that. I think there's another chart that we might have saw that too multiple times. I think another good one that I like comparing is sushi. Sushi, if you actually go ahead and look at sushi listed also on Coinbase, you can go ahead and see that sushi started to take off back in September, October during the last cycle of 2020, right? And I've actually go ahead and see where sushi started to take off once again. It was around October, November. And this is where I was talking about it in our private community at around July to go ahead and consider an exposure to sushi. And if you look at sushi right now, sushi has already corrected quite a bit from this last correction. Overall, it has corrected 75% and currently down 67%. So in my opinion, if Ethereum continues to show a little bit more dominance, this could be the bottom for the altcoins, and we could be expecting a little bit more momentum picking up on the altcoins. With that being said, I want to go ahead and pick Tristan's brain a little bit before we go ahead and shift into what he has to talk about. What are your thoughts so far with Bitcoin, man? Or are you feeling a little bit more confident? What do you think that the market's going to be heading out in what direction? Like I said, this is just for us to go ahead and chatter and talk. I want to see your perspective, so there's no right or wrong answer to this.
Absolutely. At the moment, we have what is commonly known as crab season or consolidation if you're a professional. What that means is that we're just moving sideways. You know, we're staying range bound between these kind of this 90, 9,800 and kind of 90,000 kind of range. Yeah, hopefully we'll see a breakout. Like John said here, we're hoping for a breakout. Got my fingers crossed. That would be good for all crypto. What's good for Bitcoin is what is good for all of cryptos. I am watching Ethereum pretty diligently as well, because like John said, I think that is a clear sign that we could be in an altcoin season. Another thing to look at though is Solana. Solana took an absolute whopping over the last few days. Just because of the Libra and just because of the kind of the environment we have right now with Solana. All these meme coins are, they are, some of them, they're becoming a little bit, I'm trying to pick a good word without just absolutely like stomping on them.
They got destroyed. That's what the good word is.
Yeah, they're getting
I'm
destroyed.
holding on to meme coins too on the Solana chain. And guys, I got destroyed too on the meme coins on Solana. So just know that during times like this in the market, super volatile to hold on to those.
Yeah. There's no point selling. What's the point of selling when you're 80% down, right? It's not. Yeah. Anyways, but what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Solana in general is the data for Solana still looks good. So there's still very high transactions, lots of good fees. The usage of Solana is still super high. So I'm still very confident long term for Solana. And you can see that even in the kind of we'll say this in medium term. The downtrend has stopped, and now we are building a little bit of a support now. So Solana could pick up as well. If we see Ethereum start picking up, I think we'll see Solana pick up as well. Maybe not as much. It might be Ethereum's time to shine for a little while.
Yep.
But it'll be good for Solana as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ethereum is definitely gonna get a little bit of a come up. Verdon, it's a pleasure to see you live again, John. Been way too long since I caught you live. It has been a while, man. We go live here twice a week now, so you get to see me twice a week now. He asked me, you still diamond handing Crody, yeah? Yes, still diamond handing Crody. I mean, I'm down 90% because of this whole entire meme coin madness with Solana. And just like Tristan mentioned, I'm not going to be selling my meme coins now. I mean, it's already too late. I'm already down 80, 90%. But keep in mind, this is something I already knew was going to happen. I understood the risk. And I will be dollar cost averaging a little bit more into that token in the future. The one I have been adding on into these last couple of days has actually been Andy on base and Benny. Just a high disclaimer, very high risk, high reward. So personally, I wouldn't recommend it just so you guys won't fall into that volatility. But if you like having that kind of exposure, highly recommend you check out Benny on Base and Andy on Base, because I believe because of this whole entire meme coin madness on Solana, I think there's going to be a slight little shift on actually Ethereum. And that's a pretty big thing. I've been seeing that all across Twitter, all these influencers, everybody who's like a meme coin trader, talking about you should have considered Base on Ethereum, right? So that's where I think things are heading. So I think we are going to be seeing that shift very soon. Dog Lover, Deutsch Lover 103 from Twitch, what's up? Hope you're having a good one. I like your picture, by the way. Dog with hat.
Yeah, dog with hat. Let's go.
And then Vernon, it's always a delight to hear you share your alpha, TA, John. I can't believe I haven't joined a live sooner. I sincerely hope you achieve your financial goals. You're truly one kind of a person in this space. I really appreciate you, Vernon. Thank you for the shout out, man. And I appreciate you for your support. As always, yeah, this market has been very, very volatile. But as I mentioned, you guys will be able to catch me live here twice now on live stream. So definitely smash that like button, subscribe. There's going to be a lot of alpha. And the good thing is that you also get a lot of inside information from Tristan, not insider information, okay? I meant DeFi inside information. Let me clarify my words.
There's no insider information
going
on
that
here.
we're in, man. That's what everyone's getting hit right now with inside information. So I didn't mean it in that way, but I completely agree with you. I wanted to get your perspective with this because I know you've been pretty public, especially with our private community, talking about how you believe more in Solana long term, and you think it's going to outpass and surpass Ethereum. And I'm definitely there with you. But I know you're more of a Solana lover than Ethereum. I really want you to kind of like talk a little bit about that, so you could kind of, so people can see that you're not really just biased in one blockchain. Because for me personally, I'm gonna be honest, I've never really liked Solana because I've had issues with it in the past. But I'm here to make money. So
yeah.
whatever token I have to buy that's going to give me that exposure to the upside, I'm going to buy it. As long as it's ethical, as long as, you know, everything turns out good, the token is doing well, the charts also look good, I'm going to buy it, regardless whether I personally like it or I don't like it, right? I mean, I kind of like that perspective that you have, because I think it's really rare, especially in the crypto space, where people are like, you know what, I don't like this chain too much, but I'm open to this, right? So can you kind of touch on a little bit to the reason why you also believe why Ethereum could be picking up shortly?
Yeah. So let me start with my philosophy first. Then I think I was almost Bitcoin maxi at a point. Kind of like, you know, super toxic. Like everything else is garbage compared to Bitcoin. I don't believe that anymore, because I've realized if you want to not only make money, because if you want to be into something, Bitcoin's not going to double as quickly as any altcoin. So the opportunities for higher income, higher percentage increase, that comes from the altcoins. So you do have to, you know, if you want to make money, you do have to have your mind open to other opportunities. And then if you want to dive specifically into the Solana and Ethereum's place, my love for Solana stems from my belief almost as a Bitcoin maxi, or semi-Bitcoin maxi. Bitcoin, store value, it's not very fast. Transaction fees aren't great. It's difficult to build on, but it has that critical feature that no other cryptos have really been able to achieve, and that's that solid store of value. Whereas Solana is easy to build on, super fast, cheap transactions. So Solana is filling a lot of those gaps that Bitcoin has missed. So they're very opposite, Bitcoin and Solana, but they complement each other really well. But here's where I don't love Ethereum so much. Just I guess in the long-term kind of trend is Ethereum's in between Solana and Bitcoin. It's trying to do a little bit of both. It's trying to be a bit of a store of value. It's trying to have lower transaction fees, but that has spawned this whole ecosystem of layer twos, which is good for us, the users. It's really good for us, really. But it has made the Ethereum chain, you know, a little bit weaker. Not as many funds are flowing directly through Ethereum anymore. The layer 2 tokens like Base, like Arbitrum, like Avalanche are making money hand over fist. They are being very successful, which is not great for Ethereum. So that's why I'm not bearish Ethereum. I think Ethereum will always be with us. But and I look at reality. The reality is Ethereum is still 55% of the crypto market. Last time I looked, so it's half of all crypto transactions. So that's including all the L2s. So the reality is we need Ethereum, and we will likely see a pump here for ETH if we are going to see an altcoin season, because it's half the crypto market still. That's kind of just my general opinion there for why we see ETH. We'll see a pump in ETH, I think. Just for Solana, and Solana has so much bad news at the moment. As you said, you're into anything ethical, John. There have been a lot of unethical things happening in Solana as of lately.
And the thing is, unfortunately, with Solana right now, the reason why there has been a lot of downside, which in my opinion, I think it's a good buying opportunity for the Solana token. But as far as the Solana ecosystem for now, it's going to be a little bit shaky, especially for the meme coins and things like that. Not saying that there won't be meme tokens in there or other opportunities, there definitely will. But right now we're seeing a narrative change. And the reason being is because there was the platform Miorda was actually helping a lot of these back-end deals with the Milani token, with the Libra token, and they were doing insider trading with this big company, right? So like that's where people are like, oh, I thought Solana was for the people, and now you're doing the complete opposite of what Solana, was supposed to be and what was standing for. That's why people love Solana, because they're like, oh, it's community based. We're all here. It was like a community thing, right? It was a really big community thing. So right now, a lot of people in the Solana space feel kind of backstabbed, that the same people that have these platforms are screwing the other people up, and that's kind of the reason why we've been seeing a lot of volatility and a lot of disappointment. But as I mentioned, I think this is going to be a buying opportunity for the Solana token itself. As far as memes, it's probably going to take a while for them to really do anything. But also, I'm pretty sure people are going to forget in the next month or two. That's just the reality of the space that we're in. We go through these phases. Like, think about it. Everybody got disappointed with what happened with the Trump and the Milani token, and they were disappointed for like 2 weeks, almost a month. They forgot, and then the Libra token came in. You would have thought that because people saw that launch, they wouldn't be buying. But no, they went ahead and gave it another chance, right? So that token is the one that really put a lot of people back in their place and said, you know what, maybe the meme coins are not for me. Let me go ahead and stick to what works, DCA into the altcoins, and let me go ahead and do it that way instead of trying to gamble my money away, right? That's why I think we're going to be seeing that shift with between both blockchains. And also keep in mind that for Solana, it's really easy for any team or any startup to go ahead and start up on Solana. Now it takes less than $10 to start a token. You could do it through Pump Fund. You could go ahead and raise funds. Even if you were to go ahead and do a direct Radium token, directly launching your token on Radium, because that's the first platform. Usually most people go ahead and launch their tokens when it comes to providing liquidity for Solana for the token, whether it's a meme coin or an actual project. It usually goes through Radium first. That's the big platform that everyone goes through and wants to be on. Basically, what ends up happening then is it's a lot less expensive to go through there. So if you want to come up with an idea and you want to try to raise funds, you can literally do that with Solana with less than $10. Now, Ethereum, on the other hand, costs a little bit more money. So more people on the Ethereum side are less likely. I'm not saying they won't do it, but they're less likely to go ahead and completely abandon a project. And the reason being is because it's so expensive up front that it's a whole different caliber of investors. The Ethereum one, the person who's putting their money, because think about it, keep in mind that when it comes to these tokens that they're launching, they have to put their own money up front and hope that it goes up. That's really the reality, what the reality is. So that's why when it goes up, they go ahead and cash out, because that's what they're really doing it for, right? But for like Ethereum tokens, it's not as is it not only as just as common what it is with the meme coins, but it also takes a lot more funds to go ahead and do that with. So it's less likely for you to go ahead and run into a project on Ethereum that's going to fully abandon the project, because the team invested a lot of their own personal money, that the last thing they want to do is take a loss right away, unless they purposely went with the perspective of doing something malicious since the first day of launch, which is a whole different topic and a whole different ballgame. But yeah, definitely two of the main reasons why Solana has more growth in that sense is because of the fact that it's a lower barrier of entry to go ahead and launch a token as opposed to other blockchains. But yeah, let's go ahead and see your perspective. Tristan, I want to go ahead and see what you have to go ahead and share. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Feel free to ask any questions. I do see there's a few questions right here. Let's go ahead and read them. Crypto Monk, I hope you're having a good one. Hey, John, it's Pat. Shout out, Pat. Does Base have any tokens to invest in, or do you invest them through tokens on Base? Okay, so let me kind of explain this a little bit. So Base doesn't have a token. So the only way you have to be exposed to the Base chain is either through DeFi, or the other way is through the token called Aerodrome Finance, or the third one is meme coins. Now, if you're not exposed to the meme coins, I would highly recommend to stay away from them. So the best way to have exposure to Base is through Aerodrome. Keep in mind that Base blockchain is Coinbase's blockchain. And because they are currently listed on the stock market, I think it's a little bit difficult. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Tristan. Tristan probably knows this a little bit more. It's probably a little bit more difficult for them to go ahead and launch a blockchain because people are probably not going to be, holding on to their stock as much compared to the token. I'm sure one day they'll probably tokenize it or something. But as of right now, there is rumors that Coinbase will go ahead and release a token. But as of right now, the only way to have exposure to Base is through Aerodrome, which is the first decentralized exchange on Base. And the second way is through DeFi. Third being meme coins, but I'd be very careful. So the first two ways I would say is Aerodrome, or the second way would be through DeFi. That would be the first one. Do you have anything else to add to that, Tristan, to that question?
Yeah, this might be a little tinfoil hat, so take it with a grain of salt. But the reason why I think they didn't create a Base token is it might cause a lot of regulation issues, especially with the previous SEC chaired by Gary Gensler. That probably could have sent some red flags up. That's one reason. And the second reason is I think they are anticipating that they will indeed eventually take the Coinbase stock and tokenize it. How that will look, what it will look like, that is kind of up in the air at the moment. But I think they're anticipating that regulations are going to change, hopefully, sometime this administration, that you'll actually be able to tokenize stocks. And that is just my theory, personally, why they didn't go ahead and make a Base token. But if you want to get exposure to Base, you can either buy the stock if you're more of a traditional investor, still a little bit scared of crypto. That's fine. Coinbase stock is a good way to get exposure. Another way, if you are already in the DeFi trenches, you can go for the Base meme coins that John has mentioned. And if you want to take that middle route, you can invest in the Aerodrome project, which is a large decentralized exchange on Base. So yeah, I'm bullish Base though. I'm bullish. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with your perspective. I'm pretty sure a lot of it is through scarcity of anything happening in the future and also affecting their stock price. So I think that's the only reason why they've been delaying that. So probably once they figure out how to do that, I'm sure they will definitely go ahead and take. They definitely will go ahead and take that into consideration because that's a lot of money they're also kind of missing out on. With the token, I think it would also bring in more revenue for them. Maybe one day that's when they pitch that to their investors, and maybe the stock market will allow them to do that. I don't know much about what details they own or things like that, or who has to say what or what board and things like that. But I'm sure it has to do something with regulation, the scarce of that, and they probably do not want to be an open target right now. Right now, Coinbase kind of has the U.S. as like the leading exchange. That's like if Coinbase is like almost like the number one U.S. exchange basically compared to any other exchange right now in the U.S. So Coinbase is taking up a big lead, and that's because they're listed on the stock market. So they're giving them a little bit more lenient compared to other exchanges. Other exchanges, there's a little bit more restrictions on what you could do, but that's because Coinbase has been compliant ever since, and they have been open to everything in keeping with regulation of whatever they suggest. So that's the reason why. Pfizer, welcome in. Stake Solana. Yeah, staking Solana is pretty good. I'm going to leave this to Tristan, see if he has any platforms where he would go ahead and recommend. I'll recommend one after. But do you have any platforms that you would recommend staking Solana, Tristan?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's I've taken two approaches to this. You can go to a correlated pool. So I've seen some correlated pools with like JTO Sol.
Can
For
you
those who
show
don't,
that with us? Can you
yeah,
share that with us? I
yes,
went ahead and
I
stopped sharing
think
my screen.
so. Let me pull up Radium for a second. And let me explain what a correlated pool is for those that don't know. A correlated pool is like having two of the same tokens in a liquidity pool. They're not going to have the same kind of yield as you would get in a more volatile one. Like if you had a Bitcoin Solana pool, that's going to have a higher yield because those are two different tokens. The prices can change, and you have more impermanent loss risk. But if you have like stake Sol and regular Sol in a liquidity pool, they will, in theory, move at the same price. So you're not getting any impermanent loss. What I recommended is if you can find a correlated pool. So like this one right here, Sol MSol, that is an example of a correlated pool. The yield on it is not super high at the moment, but these are some kind of options that you can have if you want to like stay in liquidity pools. Here's another one, Sol and Jito Sol. That's a much better yield. That's one way you could put your Sol to work. Another way, which is actually a lot simpler, is in Ledger Live, you can actually stake your Sol right through the app there. And it was yielding about 11% last time I looked. It may have come down since then, but 11% stake Sol, not bad. It's way better than anything you were getting at Coinbase.
100%. Yeah. Did you say Jito?
Jito Sol, yeah.
Yeah, Jito. So that's actually what I was going to share with all of you. So it did come down a little bit. I know they were pushing like over a little bit over 11%. It has come down slightly, but it's still pretty good. It's still at 7.24. You're going to be earning more than most platforms. And the really cool thing right there with this is that you go ahead and stake your Sol, and then you get Jito Sol in return, which is really nice because now you could go ahead and do what is called a looping method. So with that Jito Sol, so like let's say for example you deposit X amount of Solana, you get that back in Jito Sol, and then now you can go ahead and enter another liquidity pool, or you could go ahead and lend that, which is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and give you an example of what that would look like. So you would go ahead and stake your Solana, get your 7%, plus you'll get Jito Sol in return, and then you would come into a platform like this and then go ahead and lend it if they have any of that token. I think they probably do somewhere in here. But then, yeah, Jito Sol right here. They're not offering that much right now. It's 0.38. But like I said, right now, because of market conditions, you're not really risking much. And even take a look at this one right here, USDT 11%. So that's really nice. And also this one right here, actually, I think this might be the borrow rate. So this is actually the borrow rate. So this is not the lending. So where's the lending at, right? Okay, 5% for USDT, not bad. So 5% still not bad. And then I would say this one's really good. This one looks really good. USDC 7.35%. So just for having your USDC on Solana sitting there, you could be earning about 7%, which is not too bad, right? So there's definitely a lot of platforms you could go ahead and check out. I would highly recommend, in my opinion, to check out Jito.network. They have a lot of opportunities here. We could go ahead and do liquidity pools, staking. You could do lending. One that I would say that might be a lot easier for a lot of you guys would be Camino. Camino might be a little bit easier for all of you to go ahead and try out as opposed to something like Radium. I think Radium is going to take a little bit of understanding of how liquidity works and how to go ahead and enter one. But something like Camino, I know they do have some automated ones, so it's really not too difficult. It's very similar to like the platform as Beefy. If you guys ever dabbled with Beefy, it's very similar. So I would recommend something like this. Even this one right here, Solana, you'll be earning about 7.36%. But as I mentioned, with the Jito one, you could go ahead and get into some sort of looping strategy. So you can get creative with DeFi. Like I said, it just depends your risk to reward. The other one too is Marinade, Marinade.finance, which is the one that Tristan was actually talking about, which is MSOL.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that one I believe also has. I think that one might have what is it called? A little bit of a higher percentage to go ahead and stake.
Yeah.
So that one would be a good one. Let's see if I could go ahead and find the website. I don't know what the website is, so okay, I found it. So let me go ahead and share my page here with you guys real quick. But right now in these market conditions, I would recommend, in my opinion, this is what I would be doing. I'd be mostly in anything stable right now or staking, something that doesn't really fluctuate too much with the market because of how volatile it is right now. But even just staking, I think would definitely do pretty good. I mean, they have the native staking at 10%, and then they have the liquid staking, which you go ahead and deposit your SOL to give you MSOL in return. So for 10.12% is not too bad. Like I said, way better than most platforms. And it just all comes down to how creative you want to get when it comes to this and what your risk to reward is when it comes to DeFi overall. But there's definitely a lot of opportunities in there when it comes to Solana overall.
I have to agree with that. Lots of opportunities for Solana. And you can make it as complicated as you want. You can do the looping methods, or if you want to keep it real simple, put it on your ledger, stake it right on Ledger Live. And that's pretty easy way to do it. We have some more comments here.
Yeah, I see. Vernon, it's unfortunate that I missed out on many opportunities during the meme coin craze. Now we must wait patiently for the sentiment to be gradually restored. So, in my opinion, I don't think there's much that you missed out. If anything, I think this is probably the best time because there's a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of things have already dumped over 50 to 80%. So I think there's a lower risk. When it comes to the next question, Vernon, can we get a TA on Crody? Didn't it dump to like 200K? Yes, it did dump to 200K. I don't want to talk about that one right now. It's too high risk, too high reward. So I kind of don't want to push that because I don't want anyone to go ahead and buy that. But yes, Crody did go down to 200,000 market cap. I'm still holding on to it. I'm down on this one like over 80% plus. And I'm going to be considering adding more to it in the next coming weeks. I'm just waiting to see where the market reacts. But yeah, we could talk about that one at another time. I just do not want to go ahead and have anyone check that token out and then start buying it. So that's kind of the reason why I don't want to show it. Vernon, I remember you calling AMC when it was under 100K. It sent to 30 million once the stock started pumping. I'll definitely keep my fingers crossed for a similar pump for Crody in the near future. Yeah, man, 100%. I remember when I did call out AMC and literally a few days later, it did a 10x. So sometimes those times do happen in meme coins, right? Buys. Do you ever stake on Coinbase? I personally don't. The reason being is because we are in DeFi. We promote DeFi. So I think it would be kind of against us, like going for a platform and telling you to stake. And as you see right here with these platforms that we just showed you, what Coinbase basically does is that they'll go ahead and give you a percentage. They'll offer you 5%, whatever it is, 6%. And then what they'll go ahead and do with your money is they'll go ahead and put it into these platforms that we showed you. And then they're just going to go ahead and give you basically the crumbs. That's what they're doing. These platforms are doing. So for me to go ahead and tell you, that I would even recommend, I mean, it is easy. I mean, if you want something that's convenient, I would say, sure, why not? But if you were to tell me like, do I recommend staking on centralized platforms? I don't, because I'm more into DeFi. I'm like a fully DeFi guy. Like I love DeFi. I mean, what we talk about here at Decentralized Masters is about DeFi. So that's what we push, right? Because we believe in DeFi. We like being decentralized. We do not like being, we don't like someone or something being in control of us, of our own money and making our own decisions, right? So that's why we prefer DeFi. So for me personally, I would say a no to that on Coinbase. If you want convenience, then yeah, it works, but I wouldn't recommend it personally. What are your thoughts to this, Tristan?
Yeah, I don't recommend staking on Coinbase, just because exactly what John said. They're just out there doing the same lending platforms, maybe at more institutional level. So they're doing the same protocols. They're putting it onto their site. They're taking their cut, so they're 3-5%, and then they're giving you the rest. When in DeFi, it can be so easy just to move your crypto from your Coinbase wallet to your personal wallet. In this case, we always recommend our ledgers. If you just move a little bit of crypto and then put it out there yourself, now you're making the full amount for you. There's no middleman in the middle taking your percent. So I don't usually recommend staking on a centralized exchange, whether that's Binance, KuCoin, Coinbase. It's not, it kind of goes against our whole principle here. I think below my name there, it says DeFi analyst, and then John says DeFi analyst and mentor. So,
my name, I go by DeFi John. So there's no way I would go against, unless it would have been CEX John, centralized exchange John.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I do see right here, Pfizer also went ahead and said, great tips, guys. Thanks. Yeah, 100%. And it looks like Pfizer is already a member of DM. He says, great answers about DeFi. I'm a member of DM and I love what I'm learning. Yeah, 100%. Like I said, convenience-wise, yeah, platforms, keep in mind Coinbase, platforms like Crypto.com, they're really great platforms due to the fact that they provide the convenience. But if you want to go ahead and have that freedom when it comes to being really in the decentralized factor and want to go ahead and take advantage of these kind of yields, as you see right here, USDC, this one right here, it's offering 11.72% of your funds. Also, Coinbase is invested into Harvest, so I think it's some sort of like sister brother company that it's owned together within Coinbase, I believe. But I know Coinbase definitely does push Harvest, so maybe they're pushing their funds here and then they're giving you a percentage. Like I said, staking it on Coinbase, it's definitely convenient. If that's what you're looking for, then go for it. But if you want to be more curious and want to go ahead and take advantage of higher returns and you want to get creative, I would recommend just doing the DeFi way, because right here, as I mentioned, you'll be getting a little bit more and there's more opportunities to be offered in the table. As you see right here, virtual offering right now, if you lend a virtual token, 39.32%. So these are the kind of opportunities that you could do on your own, which is really easy to go ahead and do, in my opinion. As you see this one right here too, USDC 26%. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities right here for USDC coins. So convenience matter. Yes, Coinbase is good to go ahead and do it. But if you want to get creative, you want to take advantage of a higher yield and you want to learn, I would recommend doing it on your own. I think DeFi offers a lot of opportunities, and these are the kind of opportunities you can see right here. As you see, a lot of USDC between the 20 to even 15% rate. So it's pretty good with that. I guess Verdon says, my bad, I guess you're not as deep in the degen trenches on this channel as you used to be. It's not that I'm not deeply, it's just that I right now, meme coins are just not the move to go ahead and push right now too bad right now, especially with everything's going on. So right now, what I'm trying to go ahead and push is I'm trying to go ahead and push having that, what is it called? Not that, what is the word I'm looking for? Like balance. There you go. Yeah. Balance. There's times when you want to go ahead and get more risk on in the market, and there's times where you want to be a little bit patient. And I think this is the time in the market where you do not want to be too risk on, because this is the main reason why we've been seeing the market do what it's been doing, because people have been falling into the trap of being too risk on. There's times in the market where you have to slightly shift. And like I said, it's not that I do not touch the meme coins or the higher risk tokens or even the higher risk liquidity pools. It's just that, in my opinion, right now is not the time to do that just yet. There will come a time, I think we're almost there, to go ahead and push that narrative and switch. But right now is definitely not the time to go ahead and do that. Pfizer said, are you DeFi/John on X? I am not. That is not me.
Yeah, with that being said, do you want to dox yourself here, or?
With that being said, man, we were supposed to cover what
we were supposed to cover. I had a whole presentation for you guys.
Go for it. I don't know if you still have time. Go for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any calls right now to go.
You know what? We have another question here, so I think we'll be able to just go through questions. Crypto Monk says, "Hey guys, on Harvest, can you move easily from a coin to another? I'm harvesting Euro C, but the yield has dropped lower than 3%. I want to move to USDC, which is over 12%."
Yes, it is easy.
Short answer, yes.
Yeah, so basically the nice thing about Harvest is that with Harvest, you're actually able to deposit almost any coin similar to Beefy, and they'll be able to go ahead and swap it for you. So I don't think you need exactly USDC directly. I think they'll actually also accept the Euro C, and then it'll automatically go ahead and swap it for you, if I'm not mistaken. I tried that last time.
It shouldn't be too difficult.
It shouldn't be an issue to go ahead and do that. So you should be able to go ahead and automatically pivot into the USDC if that's what you want to do. So what you want to be doing is to go ahead and double check on how to do that. If you, for all of you that might not know or do not remember, all you would have to go ahead and do is select the token that they have. So as you see right here, when you're entering the liquidity pool, you would just go ahead and connect your wallet, and it's going to go ahead and ask you to input the token. So whatever token that they accept for you to deposit, I'm pretty sure EuroC is one of them. You would just go ahead and select it, put the amount, and then it should say convert. So it's going to automatically convert it for you, which is a really neat thing. So you should be able to convert it automatically without having to go ahead and go back and forth.
Excellent. So, John, did you say you have another call after this, or?
No, I don't. I said I don't have another. I just checked right now. I don't have another call, so we could go in and push for a couple more minutes. If you have a call and you have to go, then we could go ahead and be ending that in a few minutes. But if you want to go ahead and do your presentation, like I said, go for it. I have time. I don't mind for us to go ahead and do it. Plus, I see like there's more people joining us, so let's go ahead and see this.
Let's keep going. Well, the crypto gaming sector, this is what I prepared for you guys. Last few calls for our private sessions and here on the podcast, I've been talking about real world assets, so RWAs. It has been a hot theme, this narrative, with tokens like OM, which is Mantra, and Ondo. So I wanted to shift to something that isn't in the spotlight at the moment, something that hasn't run up, 200% already, and that would be crypto gaming. Gaming has been largely forgotten. So we made a little presentation just for you guys today. Let's see. Let's do a slide. There we go. What is crypto gaming? So if you're brand new to this, crypto gaming is basically implementing the blockchain or the ecosystem of blockchain transactions into video games. And this can look in very different ways. What we've seen so far is like a play to earn model. So as you play the game, you earn tokens, and these tokens now are not only locked into that game. Let's say you were playing Mario and you were collecting those gold coins. You can now take those gold coins out of Mario and potentially spend them in another game. So let's say you're taking those gold coins out of Mario, you convert them into whatever Call of Duty money is, and now you can use the currency in Call of Duty. That is just kind of a general idea of where we are going, where we hope to be going. And then this also applies to artifacts and items that you would get in a game. So let's say you would get, it's been a while since I've played games. Let's use Mario again. Let's say you get a special Mario hat in your Mario game. You can take that out, move it, and then you can wear it on your character in Call of Duty. That would be like an NFT. How that will look, it's kind of up in the air, but that's kind of the general sense here. Ready Player One. We talked about this briefly in the last podcast. It's a super popular book and movie. If you haven't watched it yet, highly recommend. Pretty good. Basically, the characters would exist in this. Well, people would exist in this video game called the Oasis, which is what we would call something like the metaverse, where all these different games, these social media sites are connected. And so you can have that same character that you have in, I don't know, like a Mario game or a racing game, and that same character could come out and go into a shooter game. That is where we are going. That is where I think blockchain gaming will be important. I think this quote here represents this very well. Science fiction does not merely predict the future, it shapes it by planting the seeds of possibility into the minds of invaders. And as you can see, another example of this would be like If you watch the 1960s movie Space Odyssey, you had HAL 9000, who was the evil AI in the movie. And now we have our own AI, ChatGPT. Whether it's evil or not, yeah, that's up to you to decide. It's very useful, though, that's for sure. Future expectations for gaming are great. At the moment is a $221 billion industry and expected to be $614 billion by 2030. I know most men my age and a few years older, my generation, and definitely the generations under have all played video games at some point in their life. So gaming trends going forward look really good. And at this point, you see this article that I have screenshotted here. It says blockchain gaming will be 614 billion. Gaming and blockchain, I think, will merge, and there won't be blockchain gaming and regular gaming. There'll just be gaming, and all gaming will have blockchain infrastructure in it. Just wanted to drop a bit into the history of this. We had in 2017 something called CryptoKitties. It was kind of like the first NFT kind of game, collectible game. It was super popular for a while. The kitties were like selling for $100,000. This was that first entry into some sort of, as you could say, frenzy in crypto that we always see. Next thing that happened in blockchain gaming was Axie Infinity. We spoke briefly about this in the last podcast as well. Axie is a popular game that kind of hit critical mass in 2021. It had $1 billion in revenue. People like in third world countries, it was super popular in the Philippines. They were quitting their jobs and making Axie Infinity their full-time job. They were playing games and earning crypto. They were making pretty decent returns too. So it was like closer to maybe $50 a day, which is more than they would make in their countries doing a full-time job. So it created a very interesting dynamic, and that's why you often see these play-to-earn games taking off in lower income countries before they take off in the West here. It was a very interesting time, definitely. This is a chart here of the token AXS, which is the Axie Infinity token native to that game. You can see here in 2021, it hit a high of 160 per token, which had a market cap of $26 billion. Now, as of today, it's nowhere near that. We're at $4.26 with a market cap of 676 million. So almost a 97% loss. So when it comes to these chasing trends, what we're kind of see right now with meme coins, and I don't really want to put real world assets into that same bucket because it's not as crazy. But with the meme coins, definitely you get these large shoots and then silence until potentially it comes back. Depending on the projects, sometimes they'll come back. Most of the time, they won't. So grain of salt. Don't put everything all in one basket. Options here are you could take. Well, this is really cool. You could take those Axie Infinity tokens today and put them in a liquidity pool. So those same tokens that you got for playing a video game, beating some monsters up or something, you can take that, throw it in a liquidity pool, and earn some sort of interest. This pool is not great. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you have a ton of Axie tokens for some reason and you wanted to do something with them, there's a 3% return for Axie tokens on Balancer. You could also make a pool on Uniswap. I think on SushiSwap as well, maybe. But Uniswap for sure. Also on a centralized exchange. So I don't recommend doing DeFi, doing earnings on centralized exchanges. You can usually always find something better on DeFi. But on Nexo, which is one centralized exchange that's not available to Americans and Canadians, you can stake Axie and earn up to 26% on it, which is pretty wild. The point of it, though, is this is a token that you earn from beating up a monster in a game or playing a video game, and now you can take it out and use it in a world of finance. And that is just, it blows my mind thinking that this is the world that we're headed to. Super exciting. The current largest project in the gaming space at the moment is Immutable. It has a valuation of $1.2 billion. It is a layer 2 built on Ethereum. Basically, it's kind of like a Blizzard, where it's an engine that you can build games on. They don't make the games themselves. It's just somewhere developers can go to build games on. A very exciting project. The token for that one is IMX. You can find it on CoinMarketCap. My final thoughts here are: it only takes one good game to really start this spark. One game that is able to merge blockchain and a good game simultaneously. Lots of blockchain games out there right now. None of them have hit critical mass. A lot of them are not that great. The whole play to earn function kind of makes games not fun, kind of a little bit grindy. So the first game that can really make a play to game with DeFi, with blockchain infrastructure that is actually fun to play, that's all it takes, and this industry will start taking off again. And all the other large gaming studios like EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo, if they want to be successful, they're going to be forced to follow this trend, exactly like when Fortnite came out. Fortnite changed the whole gaming industry as a free game with a battle pass. So you could play Fortnite for free, but you would have to spend money to get in-game cosmetics, in-game weapons. That is going to be the same principle here. First game to really nail this blockchain integration will be all the other gaming studios will be forced to follow, in my opinion. It is also rumored that the newest GTA Grand Theft Auto 6 will potentially have blockchain capabilities, and that just might be the game, because this game is going to be very popular. And here's just some ways that you could get exposure to the gaming industry. You could look at large tokens. These ones are all on CoinMarketCap, but you got Axie Infinity. So, AXS token. Will Axie make a comeback? I don't know. Don't have a crystal ball. You have IMX, which was Immutable, which I briefly spoke about. You have Sand from the Sand token from the Sandbox, which is kind of like decentralized. Sorry, it's that is like real estate, so virtual real estate. So far, the only real things that were popular on that were casinos. People were building online casinos, VR casinos, which is really cool on the Sandbox for crypto. But I think there's a lot more that will happen there eventually. Gala Games, which is kind of make like Facebook style games. A little bit more work to do there. Beam. And if you wanted to do this a more traditional way, obviously Ubisoft, EA, Electronic Arts, EA's, all the sports franchises are on there. Roblox, which is kind of its own little metaverse where you have people that build in-game games on Roblox. So someone's made a fighting game in Roblox, someone's made a racing game in Roblox. You have this kind of ecosystem in one. You could say it's a walled garden, though, because you can't do anything outside of Roblox. You can't take the Roblox token outside of Roblox. That is sort of this. That's like a step one into the future that I'm predicting. So Roblox is a cool company. You have Nintendo, obviously, and you Take-Two Interactive, which is another big gaming studio. Very excited about the potential future for blockchain gaming, and I definitely think we'll see that narrative come back at some point in the future.
Yeah, 100%, man. I wanted to actually mention this. So there is actually already a game that's live. It's called Off the Grid. This game's already on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It's actually running on AVAX already. And this is basically the concept of what Tristan was talking about, a play-to-earn mechanism. So the really cool thing about this one is that, as you see right here, they have tournaments. And as you can see, they have daily cash prices of $3,000. So they're already doing this. This is really, I would say, the first really play-to-earn game that I've seen that is still running. It just went officially live, I think, a few months ago. But this one is like very similar to Fortnite. Very similar to Fortnite. Very similar to Call of Duty. It has a player royale kind of theme. And this is already currently running on the Avalanche chain, and as well, a lot of big YouTubers like Ninja are promoting this platform already. So they're really pushing it. We're going to go ahead and see if this one's really going to be the one. But just like Tristan says, all it takes is really one to go ahead and lead the board. I think Off the Grid might be it, because I don't think I've come across any other game that it's already on PlayStation, Xbox, and people won't even know that they're running on a blockchain, right? So I also do agree with you. I do think the future is going to be taking us to that, where we're going to be living in a more what is it called? When you live in the virtual world. There's a word for that.
We're going to more of a metaverse world, I guess.
Yeah, like there's gonna be people like with their virtual goggles. I'd recommend all of you guys watch Ready Player One, as Tristan mentioned. This would kind of give you a perspective of what we're talking about gaming. I'm a gamer, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm not too crazy like that. Like, I do enjoy gaming, but I'm not like very, very heavy into like, oh, I love gaming, I got to go buy crypto related tokens. I just understand that the gaming world, whether you like it or not, it's a pretty big industry, and now it's actually considered a sport. It became a sport a few years ago. So gaming has actually made a lot of people super, super wealthy, and one of them being Ninja, where he got sponsorships by Red Bull and things like that. So as I mentioned, that guy's already promoting this platform, and this platform's already pushing a lot of gaming YouTubers to go ahead and push this. And all it takes is one for the rest to go ahead and follow. So I'm sure we're going to be seeing this kind of quality in the future moving forward. Gaming is still not a hot topic as of right now, but I do believe it's going to be one very, very soon. And we could essentially be doing what is called front running. It is a little bit of a higher risk. You basically believe in something, do your research, start investing early on. So by the time everyone starts talking about it, you're reaping the rewards, right? But to be completely honest, most people find out about projects or coins at the very last minute. That's the unfortunate. So you have to have some sort of belief, understanding. Not saying you have to love gaming. If you don't like gaming or you don't understand it, stick to what you believe in. As I've always mentioned, one of the best things you could go ahead and do is, if you go over to CoinMarketCap right here, there's going to be different narratives. You could go and see these right here at the top on CoinMarketCap. It says meme, Solana, DOT, Binance Smart Chain. We have USA cryptos. So I'm not sure for all of those that are not aware, Trump actually went ahead and said that he's going to be doing zero tax for anybody that buys cryptos that are based in the US. Hasn't been fully confirmed or signed in yet. That is just what he's trying to push. AI. So if you understand how AI works a little bit more, you're more passionate about AI, then do research on AI. You have real world assets, which Tristan's really knowledgeable in. And if you understand topics like this, like for me personally, the one that I really understand is I understand memes a lot more, gaming and DPIN. I know these are really good. RWA, I know it's a big thing, but I'm not too exposed to it. And AI, for me, AI is just not my thing. To me, I use AI. I've enjoyed it. I think it's the future, but I'm not too knowledgeable when it comes to it. On the side of crypto, when it comes to the tokens, I feel like they're memes. The AI agents, I feel like they're basically meme coins. Like, they're just slapping a meme coin with AI. That's the way I look at it. I'm not saying that not all tokens are like that, but right now what we've been seeing all across the board, the reason why AI started taking off was because a lot of meme coins basically slapping an AI agent that took either a few minutes to copy or went ahead and copied it from someone else, slapped it, made a nice website and called it an AI agent, and that this is going to take off. So that's why we've seen a lot of volatility in AI. Not saying there isn't companies that are not actually legitimate and good. I just feel like right now there's a lot of noise. It probably has cooled down a little bit in the AI sector. And so be in the lookout, watch out for the AI agents. I feel those are like more like meme coins. I'm not sure if Tristan could agree with me on that, but I feel like those are already like basically meme coins, just slapping the word AI and slapping a tool behind it. And because I'm already exposed to high risk tokens, I kind of decided to stay away from the AI agents because I'm already exposed to high risk. And what you want to do is you want to look for balance. Would you agree the same thing right there, man, with the AI agents? Like, I just feel like they're like meme coins slapping an AI into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually doing a little pump.fun exploring last night, and every token, well, it's not every, but every fifth token on there is AI agents, something, something. And then you go to Twitter and they have something that makes comments about some specific topic. And that's
Yeah,
about it. It's a meme token with a Twitter page, pretty much.
exactly.
Uh,
That's all it is.
yeah.
Talking about how this AI is going to do something. So just be very, very careful, guys. Be careful with the AI legitimate projects that are building AI with crypto, and then be very careful with the ones that are just a meme coin, basically just slapping the word AI and throwing a random AI tool just to make it seem like it has utility. So just be very, very careful. But I also wanted to share this. Elon Musk is pushing to go ahead and give Americans 5,000 check based on what's going on right now in the economy. So I would highly, highly recommend you guys also check that out. We're going to see if this gets approved. It'd be really interesting if we could go ahead and start seeing some stimmy checks coming back into the
Oh,
market.
God.
That is definitely going to push the market even higher. So this is what Elon Musk is trying to push. And as you guys know, the Department of Government Efficiency, he says that if they could go ahead and use some of that money to go ahead and issue $5,000 per household if the department hits 2 trillion in savings goal. So we'll see when that happens. But it's definitely an exciting time, I'll say. What are your thoughts about this, Tristan?
Sometimes I wish I was American. There's a lot of times where I was like, damn, I wish I was American getting stimmy checks. We did get stimmy checks in Canada the first time too, but yeah, it wasn't nearly as much as the you guys down south of the border got. No, but if we do see stimmy checks, you can expect to see inflation pick up again. So I'm not 100% sure that they will go with that. This just might be something they're a little bit of political theater to get the American public to be more favorable to Doge, which I think they should be, regardless of whether they're getting a stimmy check. We should be
Yeah.
uh, getting into government efficiency. It doesn't matter where you are in the world.
I think that would definitely $5,000 would definitely prompt up the economy, and
Oh yeah,
I think this would definitely, like, if they could issue $5,000 to everyone, best believe, guys, you're gonna start seeing a mini surge of what you saw during the last times when they started issuing
yeah.
stimulus money, where everyone was buying everything. And if they were to go ahead and issue this $5,000 to everyone per household, I'm sure there's some things you have to go ahead and hit. There's not going to tell you it's just mostly for news, but I'm sure there's probably some sort of threshold you have to go ahead and fall under in order to go ahead and be able to qualify for the 5,000. But let's just say, for example, if they were to go ahead and push that, that would definitely, I think, in my opinion, push some money into crypto. People are going to be like, oh, now I have a little bit of extra money. Let me go ahead and throw it into this Deutsche token or this Bitcoin thing that people have been talking about.
Definitely, definitely.
Do you
Yeah,
have a
I
few more
remember
comments?
2021. It was in 2021. The stock market just absolutely was pumping during
Yeah.
the time when all those stimmy checks are coming out. So if they do this, if this goes through, yeah, you want to be trying to front run this as much as possible.
100%, 100%. I want to go ahead and read the last comments before we start going on. But Vernon says, shout out to Tristan too. He seems like a real one as well. Best of luck for you. Can't wait to
Thank you, Verona.
wait
Thank you,
for a
thank you.
yacht meetup party. I'm actually going to Denver.eth. So if you could show up, Vernon. I think Vernon's also Canadian, if I'm not mistaken. So
Oh yeah, eh?
let's see. Fies, my kids love buying tokens but aren't interested in crypto. Um, I would probably say have a conversation with them. I mean, the best way to, I think, when you want to go ahead and try to introduce someone to, especially crypto, I think it's going towards the side of showing them something they might be interested in. So maybe they might not be interested in crypto fully, but maybe if you go ahead and show them gaming or AI or real world assets, they're going to understand it a
Memes.
lot more. People usually are not interested in things they do not understand. So I think it's maybe more of the fact that they do not fully understand it, but I'm sure they look for something that they might understand. It could definitely be an area that they might consider. They just trust me to trust you as well as travel the DeFi world. There you go. And then Vernon says, I truly appreciate all the valuable information. One must be properly positioned for the crazy bull run that is sure very, very soon to happen. I agree with you. No way I would want to be on the sidelines. I agree to you. Yes. I think overall, what I was really trying to say all comes down to risk to reward. A lot of people might be joining us here for the first time in their bull run, and they're probably not too familiar with what they could be expecting. So it might be a little bit more difficult for someone joining this market for the first time and being able to stomach 40 to 60 to 80% swings, right? For most of us that have already had experience in mini cycles or bull runs, we understand that 60, 80, even percent corrections are part of the market, and that eventually there's always going to be a time when it comes back. But for most people, that's the reason why I'm saying maybe right now you might want to consider just staying on the sidelines before you start getting aggressive one more time, because this is what's been causing the market to fall. People have been getting very greedy and they start throwing money at the market, and then the market comes back, swings, hits you back, and this is what we get. But appreciate you, Vernon. Hope to see you more often. Anything else you have to go ahead and add, Tristan? You can go ahead and close off whenever you're ready.
Yeah, just one thing about your kids getting interested in crypto. In my adventures of crypto and Discord, I was researching one project once on Discord. I actually came across some kid. It was like, I think he was like 12 or 14 years old, and he was in this project in crypto, and he was just asking some questions, and it was like there was kind of like a wow moment. It was like because since it's all decentralized, there is truly nothing stopping like anyone from any age getting into crypto. Like you can, if you're trying to open a brokerage account, for example, you got to be the age of adult of whatever your country is. So in my country, you have to be 19 before you can do any kind of investing.
Really?
But in crypto, there's truly nothing stopping you. You can make money online in crypto, enter whatever meme coin or liquidity pool you want. If you have no parental supervision, yeah, you can do anything. It's kind of crazy what crypto has done. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is up for debate. But yeah, that's just something I thought is super interesting. Let me just walk us out now. As always, thank you all very much for joining. I hope you're walking away with some clear insights and to push your DeFi journey forward. Remember, DeFi is evolving fast, and staying ahead means taking action with the right knowledge. If you're ready to dive even deeper and want a roadmap to build your own DeFi success, check out our DeFi Masterclass. The link is in the description below. In the training, you'll receive clear hands-on strategies to maximize returns, manage risk, and truly make the most of what DeFi has to offer right from our founder, Tan. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell button so you don't miss next week's 2 live episodes. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you here I'll see you here next time on Decentralized Masters.
I hope
See
you
you
guys all have
guys.
a good one. Take